Right, evening everyone. Welcome to Hilly Stream for Tuesday night. We're here for WAOF1 of course, and it's Japan. So full qualifying 50% race at Japan, which is 27 laps. Good evening Robin, good evening Josh. Bear with me, I've forgotten to give my dad his headset. Oh mate. Right. No it's not. No it's not. Yeah. We're heading into quali then. Prediction, what should we do? Evening Brian. Hello everyone. Hope you're all finding the stream alright. Ah, there, finally. I can find the bloody button to share the stream. I have just found it. There we go. Stream shared. And, right, to continue this season doing the predictions. Hang on, I can't do it here. What is going on? There we are, that's better. Right, start prediction. And again, it's going to be a simple one, like last week. And it's going to be will Ozers make it out of Q1? It's a simple yes or no answer. This is where I find out I've only got 16 drivers and everybody makes out of Q1. Right, submission period, how long can I'll give you 5 minutes to put that in. And oh no, we've got a full 22-man grid, so there we go. You got 5 minutes. I can't give you any longer, even that's a bit much really, but that's okay. There we go. Hello, Rich. Good evening. So, a good one. See if Ozers can make it out of Q1 for the prediction. A good one to have when it's a full grid, I think. So, we'll see how he gets on. I don't appear to have any game sound. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully you guys can all hear the game, but I can't. Why can't I hear the game? No sound. Does it have any sound? This is weird. Can you guys hear the cars on the stream? Right. I don't know, maybe if I leave my party in. Why don't I have any game sound? What is it going on about? I don't know what to do, guys. Change controllers, see if that I think I'm going to have to leave the lobby now. It was all fine when I went nipped into the practice lobby and played. Did a couple of laps. Race. I'm sorry guys, but I'm gonna have to leave the lobby and rejoin. Hopefully that'll fix it. Yeah, I'm still even just on the game. I've got no game. Shall I reopen the game? Close and reopen. Hey Nancy, sorry,
to the game.
No, I've still got no game sound. Something is very much wrong.
Championship wasn't won today, mate, but it was won through its work.
I've got nothing. Right. Yeah, everything's try a different headset. You'll need to grab your headset out if you're not going to bed, Dad. You'll need the headset if you're not going to bed. I'm doing comms. Yes. Oh, I've got to wear one. Right, I think it's working. I appear to have sound, so that's good. Let's change to a different headset. So let's get back into the session. As I was the lobby host, I hope me leaving hasn't affected the session. And we'll be getting back in time to be able to see whether Ozus does make it through Q1 or not. I'm not sure. Absolutely no idea why that's happened, seeing as I was, like I said, I was in the practice lobby doing a few laps. It was fine. There we go, I can hear. Yeah! Right, so what's been going on while we've been gone? Brian currently fastest on a 29.3, Ryan in second, 29.9, so quite a big gap between 1 and 2. I'll let you read through to see who's where. Got a lot of drivers still yet to do laps. Here's Chris. Well said, the onboards are quite loud, so let me just turn them down a second. There we go. Excellent, Josh. Thank you. So here's Chris just coming out onto the long straight that leads up to the chicane to finish the lap. Quite a difficult braking zone for the chicane, and if you use the corner line, it's or the racing line, it's a little bit awkward to judge your braking. I find it's actually best to use the 100-meter board. So 31.0 for Chris puts him in P12 for the moment. Here then is Ozers. Heading into 130R. Oh no, this is Spoon, isn't it? I think 130R is the little left-hander. Come up to next. Ozers currently in P17, which is actually good enough to get through. We lost Karma from the session, by the way. A lot of battery left. To be keeping all that battery to the end of the lap, obviously. 31.5 from Ozers, so stays P17 for the moment. But using up that battery would help a lot. Let's go to Godzilla then. I'm glad to see that Josh says he can hear me perfectly now. If anybody is experiencing any problems with the sound, please do let me know. Apart from being able to hear me, obviously, that doesn't count. That's not a problem. That's just something you've got to put up with. So, Godzilla out the chicane. Straight line mode active. 32.3 has from P19 at the moment. Josh and Falcao both on out laps. It's Rich on a lap, half a tenth up in sector 1, so I think he is. Straight line activated. I promise we won't only watch this part of the lap every single time. It just happens to be where I'm catching the drivers when I go on to them at the moment. Oh, 1.3 down, okay. Let's go. Boston, by the way, currently sat in 8th on the hards. Norman Gregory's just exiting sector 1. Those 2 attempts up. Brian, right, why am I that far ahead? Well, because that's a really good Q1 time, Brian. People did go faster than that in the practice, so they can go faster. It's just, but they were doing short qualies, not full. So I would say that's a very good Q1 time. Definitely enough to retire on and have a much better. Excellent. Brian, slow down, please. Yes, Brian, slow down, Brian. Homer got kicked and it retired him. Ah, man, is he back in? I hope that didn't happen because I left the lobby. So, I didn't actually see if improved then, but it's currently sat in P8 on a 130.482. Let's go to Admiral, who was looking very fast in the practice. Brian says he will not slow down. I've waited years to have this pace again. I don't think your pace has ever been the problem, Brian. There's a reason why you gained the nickname Binnett Bry. Admiral. Someone jumped up then. I couldn't quite. Oh, Falcao's jumped up to P7 on a 130.3. Admiral just coming up to the end of sector 2. He's almost a second up. puts him on a 1:30.0. This man in the practice session did go into the 28s. Plenty of time in him, and crosses the line to a 29.8. That is good enough to go P2. Well, as long as you don't keep crashing, Brian, it won't cross over, you'll be fine. So Admiral into P2 then. Who else have we got? Falcao just finished a lap. Rich isn't on a lap. Robin. Catching Robin nice and early in a lap, just through turn 1 and 2. Now into the S's. To me, because his battery went down a bit, I would suggest he's using medium through there. I think, personally, I think better use none for the S's. 6,000ths of a second up. Any improvements? Still an improvement, and around about half a tenth in total off of Watson in P12. It's age, Brian. It's good you're getting on. So, up to the end of sector 2. All through sector 2's look pretty good to me, and that reflects in a quarter of a second improvement. Kata retires when he's done enough on a 30.3. He's probably right. Harris added the chicane, then boost to the line, and doesn't improve in the end. She loses half a second in the final sector, and I think that was all down to battery. That's what I mentioned about not using, well, switching to none for the S's. That will help to save battery for later in the lap. Here's Kev heading to the line. Wasn't actually on a lap. Godzilla definitely on a lap. 1.2 seconds up through sector 1. You weren't half its age. Well, because back in 21 you were 17. So you obviously aged a lot in the last 4 years. 5 years. What year is it? It's 2026, isn't it? 5 years. So you're 16, in fact. It's been a rough 5 years, Brian. Godzilla up to the chicane. I found it really difficult to brake for that chicane. I only used 56% brake bias around this track, and I just wonder if maybe raising it, well, that's a quality, up it a bit in the race. So that was a good improvement from Godzilla in the end, and he goes P16 for Aston on 30.9, gives himself a chance. Let's go to Yestin then. No, he's not on a lap. Robin, not on a lap. I think we're gearing up towards final runs. Well, Robin's heading to the pits, so that is Robin's Q1 over. Is it going to be enough? I'd expect the pole time to be in the 28s. I'm just not entirely sure how far into the 28s we're likely to go. That, of course, is for later in the session. Back onto the lap with Kev, or did he actually just finish one? So Robin has left the session. That's not good. He did at least get his laps in. As Chris retires. Just see if I can get an invite sent to Rob in a second. If I can find him. There he is. So no, Kev not on the lap at the moment. Let's switch to Josh. Not too bad from what we saw there. But he is just over a quarter of a second down. There were some lifts that seemed a bit heavy through the S's, but 0.02 of a second at the moment behind Ozer. Where is Ozers? Just having a look. He's actually just come out the final corner, guys, and he's up. He's improving. He should be through. 1:30.4. Ozers goes into P11. He shocks the world. The world thought he would go out in Q1, but Ozers is through. That is definite, guys. There's not enough drivers left to stop him from getting through. Ozers through to Q2. Another driver jumps up the order. I think that was Yestin up to P5. Josh then improves and goes P12, so Josh gets through as well. Gregory, the only one left on the lap, but is safe. So that does give us our order. So P16 is safe, so Chris is safe in P16. Robin, Godzilla, Boss, Fatty, Kev and Karma leave us at the end of Q1. I don't know what you mean by that, Rich. So back to the pits is Gregory then, once he is wheeled into the garage, or opts to just retire the car. We'll move on to Q2, but as I say, it's unlucky to Robin, Godzilla, Boss, Vati, Kev and Karma. Oh, I see, Rich. Okay. Well, I'm glad it now I can. Nice, Josh. Yeah, I'm not sure it's the right way to go, Josh, but it seemed to work for you there, man. So, very nice P12 on 30.3, which as you can see is right in amongst it for the drivers directly ahead of you as well. So, if it works for you, man, then it works for you. Ultimately, that's what it's all about. We all think about the meta, as they call it, and all that sort of thing, but ultimately, it's what works for you. So, Well telling me there's a lobby restart after quali. What I'll ask, Well, can you please get someone else to run the lobby? Perhaps ask Gunnar if he'll do it, please. So what I've basically, Josh, I find it best to use none through the S's. And there's little splashes of none all around the track. In all fairness, but then there's other. Once you get past the hairpin, then really you don't really want to be using none after the hairpin. Actually, no, through spoon. In all fairness, you can use none into the first part. Why is it telling me I'm in a spectator mode? That's weird. Don't usually come up with that after the first session. So who's going to be out first? I think it's the other Audi. I think it is. It's Brian. First down on track, quickly followed by Ferrari. Ferrari is Gunnar, the sole remaining Ferrari. Robin just missing out in P17 in that second Ferrari. So, fastest in Q1 was Brian, and he's first down on track, so we're going to get to see a lap with Brian, and I don't see any reason we couldn't do the hilly hot lap with him. So effectively looking to start your lap here. Ryan actually just takes the chicane generally like he's finishing the lap. And boost just a small amount on the straight for Brian. Glide it in through turn 1, down to 4 for turn 2, open up the steering, get on the power. So use none for me personally through the S's. And then every corner is just judging a slight lift just to give yourself the optimum speed, well, with the optimum grip through each corner, up to medium through the left-hander. Personally, I don't use any boost here, just medium, and then switch to none for these two right-handers. It will help you with the exit there, which can be very dodgy on traction. And just a nice little lift into the hairpin just to recharge the battery a bit for these two long straights. Once you're happy you've got able to get the power down correctly, get the power on, open up the boost mode. Keep the car to the left, back down to none for spoon. And then second one, so awkward. It seems to go on a lot longer than it seems it's going to. And again, it can be very difficult on traction, which is another reason why using no ERS at that point can help, and then get straight on the boost mode. You may as well just use your boost all the way up the straight until it runs out. Then into the chicane. I think the IRB may be a little distracting for Brian, but he's not actually in the way. And then again, once you're happy the car's planted, get your boost back open, and it's a 29.3 from Brian. I've got a feeling that's on the same tyres from Q1. Gunnar goes 29.6. Let's go Watson then out the final corner, and the other Audi's just lost it, and inadvertently switches around and spins into the pits. Oh, if you're going to ruin your lap, you may as well spin into the pits. It's a good way of doing it. Yes, it's actually just starting the lap. Chris out the chicane. Hey Carsey, absolutely no problem at all, man. Enjoy your holiday. Hope you're having a cracking time in Slovenia. Ozos goes P7 on a 30.4. Chris P8 at the moment. There's Rich, he's just rounding the hairpin. See, there are different ERS maps out there. I can't remember. I think it was Brendan Lee's I've used on this one. I can't remember whether it was him or Marcel Kiefer's that's done the hot lap on YouTube that you can watch. I think it's Brendan Lee on this track. It's actually, for the esports ones, I believe Marcel Kiefer and Otis Lawrence are sharing the duties on it. Although I haven't seen any Otis Lawrence ones yet. Other people might have done. Rich across the line then goes into P6, 130.1. Yestin we saw was going on to a lap, so let's see how he does. What are you doing in your hotel, Carsey? Get out there. Get out on the pool, mate. Yestin across line, 130.9. Goes P9. Decent banker. Falcao, free yet to set laps. Falcao, the only one on a hot lap. Oh, I see the pool's closed. You're back in the hotel. So what are you doing tonight then? You got any plans? Other than watch Hilly, of course. Well, watch the boys race and hear Hilly. Falcao across line, 130.3 exactly. Watson and Whale. Whale's just coming around to start a lap, so I'll tell you what, why not take the opportunity. Josh on holiday as well, of course. entertainment area. I hope I'm on the big screen, Josh. Well, nicely through turns 1 and 2. And it just turns in a bit too much. Just gets on the grass a little bit, which is going to hurt his lap time. Throws it into the first part. Uses the second of the two right-handers as a nice lifting point. Ah, fair enough, Micah. That's a good reason. Capital of Slovenia. I want to say Zagreb, but is that the wrong S? Is that Slovakia, not Slovenia? I can't remember. I always get them all mixed up. No, in fact, I think it's Zagreb, Croatia. Ljubljana. Sounds like my sort of place. So P9 for Whale, 130.1. Gaza, 130.1 as well. I think that was his previous lap, so he's like either on a cooldown or an in lap. On with Watson then. Obviously the aim of this session just to get in that top 10. Yep, Brian did 29.3 in Q1. So I missed the fact that he must have actually gone again, because he did 29.3 on his first lap in this session, and so it's clearly gone again. But I'd say I am expecting the pole to be in the 28s. There was the 28 in the short qualifying from Admiral. In the practice lobby. At the moment, it does seem a strangely large gap, in all fairness. Watson heading up the hill then. Oh, no, 3.3 down. Okay, I didn't realise. Okay, so let's switch to Admiral. Still need to find a bit more time yet, Brian, if you want that pole position, because, as I say, in the practice lobby they were going quicker. I think there's a few sandbags out there at the moment, mate. So don't let them fool you. So Admiral not actually on a lap, but he is coming up to start a lap. Have we got anyone else? We've got an Aston coming out the chicane. Plimble. Haven't seen Plimble yet tonight, so good to get on board. Yeah, well, let's say, could you ask Gunnar to host, please? I can't let him know, I can't talk to him. You're in a party with him. So... oh, I like it, Brian. Plimble just over 2 temps up through sets of 1. Out of the double right-hander under the bridge. Love that bridge. Get the aerial shot in real life and you see the cars going both above and below. It's pretty cool. Right, use that little green strip that's on the right hand side just to open up that first corner a little bit. All pretty nicely done from what I can see from Plimble there. Heads up to the end of sector 2, still just over 2 temps up. At the moment, heading into 29.9. Chicane was all in good. He just used the curb a bit on the exit and it seems to have settled the car. But he does go 29.8, which puts him into P3. But definitely lost a little bit of time coming out the chicane there. Just unsettled the car a little bit as Ryan went into P2. James just starting the lap. It's a shame, Josh, but that's alright, mate. Once you're back from your holiday, we can get you going. Night, Dad. So, James, to the first of the 2 right-handers. We want to see this Alpine move out the way, and it does. Sorry, it's a Ferrari, not an Alpine. The way the colours can look funny as you guys are coming round sometimes in front of you. So, I think 9 times out of 10 when I'm going to say what car it is, I usually look at the track map to look at a little dot because that's easier to tell than actually looking at the car. Oh, it's going to invalidate from James. No, he's got the long straight. He may well be able to get this battery back. He hasn't actually started gaining any back yet. It's boosting, in fact. Well, we'll have to see what he does. I would assume he's just going to head to the pits. I don't think he's going to... I'm just going to go back to James. Yeah, he is going to head back into the pits. It would have been really tight whether he'd have been able to do another lap and then complete. He may not have had the fuel in a way. So let's now concentrate on the guys in and around P10. Gaza headed up to the chicane, literally sat in P10 at the moment. Chicane looked very nice. To have some flashing yellows out there. Is that going to hinder him? Well, not enough to stop him going P4. Falco into the pits, so that definitely leaves him a bit vulnerable. Well, for very early in his laps, we'll come back to him. Gregory with a slight improvement through sector 1. Three and a half temps up through sector 2. Where's that going to put him? He needs to find some more to actually make it into Q3. Power to the line. It's not going to be enough. It's P12 for Gregory. Wales off track. So Wales will not make Q3, which is a shock. Pace to start. Seasons on each of the nights has been very good. So well out in Q1. It's definitely a shock. So we go to Rich. Just seems to be lagging about a bit at this point. Or that could be me. Might not be him. I don't think it's me. Heads up to the end of sector 2. It's almost 4 attempts up. That would spring him up to the top 5 most likely. Very difficult to watch. Oh, I don't know which view is correct. Is he in the wall? Was he over the line? I've got absolutely no idea. I think that is correct. I think he's in the wall. So, Chris improving 3 temps up. It's not going to be enough to get through, but what can he do? He stays P16, but does improve by 3.5 temps. Improvement in time. Whale! It's all gone wrong for Williams. S-Star driver out in Q2. But, like Carsey says in the chat there, maybe this is where he finally wins through when it all goes wrong in quali. I'm so lucky, says Rich. Yes! I didn't actually know it was lagging about so badly, Rich. I didn't actually... on my screen, you looked like you were heading nicely for the line, and all of a sudden it switched and you're in a wall. So... that might be something to do with why we're having a lobby restart. I don't know if the lobby restart is actually required or whether it's a precautionary thing. Simply because as I was the lobby host and I had to leave the lobby, it may be that the guys are deciding it's just precautionary, because that can mess the lobby up sometimes when the host leaves. So yeah, I had to do it, Rich, especially out of that corner, mate. Go on, Carsey, put loads of pressure on him. Absolutely loads. He loves pressure. So, into Q3. Who's going to take it? Brian has been dominant so far. It only tells me that the lobby's been a little bit weird, because that keeps coming up you're spectating, which it doesn't usually do that. It usually does that when you load into a lobby the first time. It doesn't then do it every session. So I don't know why it's... that tells me that there probably is something iffy. So whether actually required or not, if I think a lobby restart is sensible. I imagine. So, oh, normal service resumed. I never thought I'd see this again, but Gunnar, with him being in a Ferrari, I didn't think we were going to see this, but Gunnar is out first. Brian's getting upset. Brian's going to be fine. So, our top 10, we have Watson, Brian, so both Aldis, James, Admiral, Plimble, Gunnar, Rich, Gaza, Ryanair, and Falcal. So, unless I'm not seeing something, I believe Audi are the only team to have 2 drivers in the top 10 in qualifying. I've crashed like froze. Oh. If it's not going again, Rich, the only thing you can do is leave and rejoin. Hope it doesn't retire you when you do it. So, going around to start the first flying lap of Q3. There's Rich rejoining. Excellent news. And a nice quick time as well, Rich. You've got plenty of time still to do 2 runs, so don't worry about that. So 32.6 from Gunnar. Head into the second of the 2 right-handers and under the bridge. Lifts just as he goes onto that little right-hand bit. That tells me he's probably watched the same video I did, because that's exactly where Brendan Lee says to just to have a little lift. Spoon and pretty nice on the exit, nice and quick onto the power, and say, just hold, boost all the way up the hill. Naturally lose some speed through the left-hander, and you don't really gain it back after. You've gone so far uphill, the car just doesn't recover from it with these new regs. And it's a 29.6 to get us underway then from Gunnar. Here comes Admiral. 29.6 from Admiral as well, just 3 thousandths quicker than Gunnar. Ryan, 29.4. Watson, 30.0 goes into P4. Ryan not actually on a lap. Gaza, 29.4 goes fastest for the moment. Here comes James up to the chicane. Right. Again, Rich, there's nothing you can do other than just leave and rejoin and hope it sorts it in time that you can get back into to get a run in. James goes fastest, 29.1, so that's looking competitive. What's Brian doing? First time in the whole qualifying that anyone's done a time that competes with what Brian's done in Q1 and Q2. Falcao heads to the line, 29.9 for Falcao, P7 for Merck. Rich, we know, is having some issues. So interesting then. After the first run, sorry, let's go to Brian because I think he must be on a lap. Very smooth through Spoon. Very nice indeed. Head up. We're not really going to get a proper reading through sector 2 because obviously his previous lap was just a second out lap. Heads to the line and into the 28s, 28.9 from Brian. So that is absolutely every chance of getting pole and holding pole with a 28.9. I think we have to assume that my prediction in the chat earlier of a mid-28 is not looking like it's going to happen. So I think if somebody steals pole off of Brian, it's going to be very, very tight. And of course, he's still got his next run to do if he so wishes. Will he do that, or will he hold a set of softs back? I don't think he'll hold a set. It's an odd one. Fuck out. Looked like he was almost going to get away with the sort of oversteery spin into the corner as he was facing the right way, but then spun out of it as well. Still in the pits at the moment. I hope he gets back in and the car behaves himself enough to get a lap on. Perhaps, Rich, while you're having some issues, maybe switch the stream off. I don't usually tell people to switch the stream off, obviously, but just it might help. So Brian, I would assume heading back to the pits. Surely he's not going again. Yeah, heading back to the pits he is. So Admiral is out first for the second runs. 29.6. He's in a decent position in P5. As I say, he was the one in the practice lobby that got into the 28s. So he'll absolutely expect to be, and even if he doesn't quite get into the 28s, he'd expect to be close to it. And of course, the final run of Q3, your last set of fresh tyres. This is the run, really, that you'd expect to be the one. I hope he doesn't disappoint me by doing a second out lap. He has come out very early, and that could be because he's going for 2 out laps, or it might be as a precaution in case he makes a mistake on his main run. Soon find out. So it looks, no, he's going for a second out lap. You so disappoint me, Admiral. Rich on an out lap. Fingers crossed for him. is also on an out lap and has actually come out on track right behind Admiral. So here we go with Rich then. So say fingers and toes crossed. Very nice first sector. One thing, it was just slightly wide of apex on turn 2, but that is really being really nitpicky. To be fair, that's how good the sector was. And then it's quite strange. You call that a straight because I mean you're just touching your steering wheel right the tiniest little amount through that whole bit. It is a straight really. Same here, you got to keep just go left slightly, and then this one a bit more obviously. That's the one that just kills your speed up to the chicane a little bit. Heads to the line, and it's 29.4, so Rich goes P4. It's a good lap. So, following the 2 out laps, we are now with Admiral. Just over a tenth and a half up through sector 1. Just has to correct on his turning slightly on the 2 second and 2 right-handers, but that's okay. Hairpin and onto the boost. So this exit light seemed okay. It all seems okay to me from Admiral. A little bit of traffic, all nicely getting out the way. So I was looking at the traffic there, so I didn't notice the sector 2 time. Just slides a bit into the chicane, but again, just like we saw with Falcao, it ended up facing the right way perfectly, and it's a 29.3, but I think he probably did lose a little bit of time through the slide into the chicane. James going for the second out lap. So who else have we got? I think there is a lot of drivers doing 2 out laps around here. Well, now with Gunnar. Only in P7. 29.6. Yeah, I believe said in the Discord chat earlier, it's not you know, I don't know whether it's not a favourite track or whether it's just not a good track for him. It's just over a tenth up in sector 1. Was a little bit wide on the second right-hander, but that's not too bad because the exit was okay. Such a difficult track, Japan. I heard a driver once say, it might have been Lewis Hamilton, I'm not sure, but I heard a driver once say there is no such thing as a perfect lap in Japan. Because if you go back and analyse the lap, there will always be something that you've done slightly wrong, because it's so hard. Gunnar, quarter of a second up. Find a little bit more. He could nip into the top 3 here. It's going to be tight. Not quite. Goes P5. Actually stays just behind Gaza, who's on a lap but is not improving. James heading to the line. Can he upset Brian? He can't. Didn't improve. And on a lap. Gaza into the pits. I think it's just Watson left, who is improving. Watson across the line then improves by nearly 3 tenths, but does stay P10. So that's it. It is a Dutch pole position with Brian. Go on, Brian. Fantastic work. James in P2, Admiral P3, Gaza in 4, Gooner 5, Rich 6. I'll do the whole rundown on the formation lap as I always do. Well done, lads. Well done, Brian. As I've already said, and as well as said, I assume he's put something in the Discord. There is going to be a lobby reset. I think this may be more precautionary than anything else because, as lobby host, I had to leave early in the session. But Peas, that's actually very funny. Thank you very much for that one. That did make me chuckle a little bit. Right, so let me just get into the Discord. Finally, James gets a point. Looks like I'm doing a lobby reset. Okay. Well, no. Hang on. Right, okay guys, so that's it for quali. As I say, we'll do the full rundown. I'll also just finish off the prediction and pay that out because obviously Ozers did indeed, well done Ozers, did indeed get through Q1. So it was voted as 87% yes, only 13% no, so it's a very successful evening, so well done to everyone who voted yes. There is the conclusion. Right, so as usual, guys, I'm going to take a break. It may be a slightly longer than usual break, obviously, due to the lobby restart. So please just bear with, and we'll be back as soon as we can get it up and going again. All right, so see you in a bit. Right, I am back, everyone, and I can update you that they're just about to load in, so there'll be a little bit of time while they do the setups, etc. But fair enough, Josh. There you are, Brian. That was all thanks to Josh. I'm wearing his Max Verstappen shirt. I don't know whether I should tell you this, but I'm officially doing my second ever comms in my pants. For the second ever time. There you go. Not long to go, guys. Sorry. Come on, burp. I'm in game chat as well, so I might just burp down everybody's ear. Sound like great. Here we are, back into the party chat. So, I don't know about you guys, but I expect a good one tonight. I think it's going to be fiery. I think we're going to see a lot of overtaking, and maybe not necessarily all in the most sensible of places. Because it's Japan, there are some funny opportunities with this boost mode. Someone being cheeky and using some boost out of the S's and into the double right-hander is one possibility. I hope we don't see too many of those types of moves. But sometimes, if you're stuck behind a driver and they keep using their boost in points of the track where you would usually look to overtake, your options become a bit limited. And you have to think outside the box a little bit, so I'd be very surprised if we don't see a few moves like that. I think we're going to see a lot of battling up into the chicane. And the best and probably safest moves are going to be made into turn 1, I imagine. As Watson leads the session. We head onto the formation lap. Hopefully Watson can get back in. I think he's Xbox, isn't he? Oh, hang on. We've got a mass of drivers leaving. Oh, just a couple more. I hope it's not me. We seem to be here. Right, let me see. Ozers can get himself back in. Watson's Xbox, so he can get himself back in. Boss isn't, so he's going to need an invite if he's showing up. Which he isn't. Oh, we love it, don't we? I'm missing doing all my bits and pieces. The boss isn't showing online for me at all. I think he's actually gone. Right, okay, I need to get to what I'm supposed to be doing. So, Brian starts on pole with James alongside in 2, Admiral in 3, Gaza alongside in 4. Gunnar starts in 5 with Rich in 6. Ryan and Plimble making up the 4th row of the grid, while Falcal starts in 9 and Watson rounds out the top 10. Wales starts in 11th with Josh starting P12, Gregory in 13 and Yeston in 14. Ozer starts P15 with Chris alongside in 16. Robin and Codzilla making up the 9th row of the grid, Boss Membrane starting in P19 and Fatty on his return starts P20. Kev in 21st and Karma, who was so unfortunate in quali, starts from the back. Let's get a quick look at the tyres. Everybody's on mediums except for Watson and Ozers, who both start on hards, and Godzilla, who starts on the softs. Just going to see again if I can spot Boss before they actually get away. No, it's not showing online for me. Here we go. Long pause before the lights start for some reason. Now Yestin's left the session as Boss joins. 4 lights, 5 lights are on. Oh, they went off and then they came back on again. There was some contact further back. One car goes off to the side as Brian leads into and out of turn 1 and 2, holds position. The top 5 all stay where they were. Ryan and Plimble up a position each. Rich down 2. Well, there is lap 1 carnage by the looks of it, Josh, but I don't think it's caused the way we expected. Something's not right with Ozers. And Well's out. Well is out. Oh, hang on. No, okay, guys, I'm pretty sure this is a lobby restart. Because all the admins are leaving. All of the admins are leaving the session, including and Gunnar, who was the lobby host, so I'm pretty sure that a lobby restart's been called. Or is being called. Yeah, it's been called. Restart everyone. Games fucked for everyone apparently. Yeah, James, that is a really good shout. Everyone who saw, all drivers who saw the announcement earlier on from Ryan asking you to turn your telemetry on, please turn it back off. We believe that may be causing the issue, so everyone, please turn your telemetry off if you have it on. We have tried with the telemetry in the past. Admittedly, it was about 3 games ago, and it did cause some issues. so he stopped it. You might have thought after 3 years that it had been fixed, but clearly not. My stream is still going, but I seem to have lost my chat. Oh, I've got it back again. Excellent. Ah, yeah, Rich, definitely get it turned off, mate. Right, sorry to all of you who are watching. What a shame. But not a lot that could be done, guys. It clearly went to shit then. We lost 3 people on the formation lap. Then one person on the grid, once they formed up on the grid, we lost another one as well. So we lost 4 people just on the formation lap then. There's clearly something wrong. So, good job we got nothing else better to do on a Tuesday night, innit? Is it still Gunnar hosting? No, it's Ryan hosting this time. Okay. Maybe it was last time, I don't know. Had such a good start. Well, of course you had a good start. Everybody else bloody disconnected. Oz's car just didn't move. Someone drove straight into the back of him. Carcy, I'm seated for a Christopher Whale comeback. What are we going to call it? He'll have to change his... If he actually wins the race, Carcy, we'll have to change his nickname. He would no longer be the bridesmaid. Christopher Son... Someone finally had him well. Or something like that. Christopher, he did it well. He did it well. See, he did it well. Well. Oh, God. This is why, like, real proper commentators have, like, spreadsheets and stuff. Or, well, not spreadsheets, but, like, notes of stuff they can fill time with. Oh, God. A nightmare. Fiestin is in. Why are you all asking if Fiestin's coming? He's in. He's there, I can see him. Look, he's at the bottom, just above my name. Right, everyone, well that's good news. We've had to restart twice and everyone's come back. I dare say they might not if we have to do it again. Right, they have been called to the grid, guys. They have been called to the grid. I might have suggested turning the formation lap off, actually. Just a thought. Oh, for fuck's sake. I think Gregory's disconnected as we've loaded in, which means he ain't going to be able to get a setup on. Right, guys, so to keep you updated, we've loaded in. We'll be on the loading screen until formation lap starts. That's just what it does. Brian says his nerves can't handle it. I don't blame him. Right. It sucks for Gregory, man. Well, his car's solidified, but it's fallen so far back off the car in front, I don't think he's in. Possible race strategies, there you go. Right, I wouldn't pay too much heed to those strategies, but okay, so do I get it again? Right, okay. I've sent Gregory an invite. I'm not going to go through the order again, guys. You can see the tyres on your screen. Let's just get them on the grid and ready to go. I just feel sorry for Gregory. This is happening for him. We're going to have to go back to the stream then. Right, okay, let's get to the front. Right, take 2, take 3, whatever it is. Well, let's take 2 for the actual start, I guess. Three, what is going on? Something ain't right, man. Lights are out, and away we go. So far, everybody away cleanly. Oh, as I say that, of course, somebody goes off track to the left-hand side. It's again, Brian holds the lead. Gaza up to P3 has gone ahead of Admiral. Gooner holds P5. Plimbull in 2, up 2. Watson's up 2. Richards dropped 3. Falcao's down 1. Moment, Gregory is there. I think he's there. As we've got somebody off track. It's like it's Boss Membrane. He's dropped right to the back. Ozers also, so it's a terrible first lap for the Red Bulls. Down 6 places and 3 places. Brian leads. James following him closely. Little gap into Gaza, but he is sticking within the 1 second pretty comfortably. And actually gains nicely through Spoon. Check in as they all come through and out of Spoon. We've got a move going on here. This is Chris looking to get past Kev to the inside up the straight, boosts his way past, and that is P15 for Chris. James has got past Brian, but is Brian going to be able to come back? Both very level on battery. And Brian up the inside, nicely done, and retakes the lead of the race. Just a bit further down, Plimbull's getting pretty close to Gooner. Ooh, you don't want to stick your nose in there though, Plimbull, whatever you do. It's, I don't think that was... I don't think he meant to put his nose into there, but... yeah, Josh, thanks. Commentator's curse. Has the stream actually stopped? No, it hasn't. It's okay. Okay, so we're starting to move as Gregory makes up a place. trying his absolute best here. He's obviously, he can't possibly have a proper setup on, guys. He must have a preset setup on. And of course he's on the softs. Let's get back to the tyres so we can all see that. So the top 6 are all medium runners. Watson's doing very nicely at the moment, up to 7th, and is our top hards runner at the moment. As we come up to the chicane then for the second time. This time Brian holds the lead. So he's looking to see if he can boost his way past. Doesn't get the opportunity into turn 1. Carlos left the session. We had a yellow flag there momentarily, but I've got absolutely no idea what that was for. It disappeared as quickly as it came up. Josh getting past Yestin up to P10 for McLaren, and a bit further up Plimble makes his way past Gunnar. So, Plimble up to P5. Hard to know where to look right now, but this is probably a pretty good place. Gaz are getting close to... Oh, they're ranked! Gaz and James have made contact in Spoon. Round. I can't. It looked like things were flying off the cars, but I can't see any damage on Gaz's car. Just looking on James's. As Karma rejoins us. I couldn't quite see there. It was covered by the telemetry. Yeah, James. What I saw come off then, it's come off of James's car. Oh, James just lost. It's just the end plate. Obviously, it's not ideal. As Godzilla retires from the session in the pits. Not sure what that's for. He leaves the session. So retirement number 1 occurring at the end of lap 3. Big crash between James and Gaza means that Brian now has a 2-second lead, as we've got a yellow flag, and that's an Alpine, and it's Gaza again. His round. Does he have some damage? Maybe there's some other sort of damage. I couldn't see anything on the front wing. That's not to say that he didn't have anything else. Gunnar putting Plimble under pressure. He's going to look to move to the outside. Initially looked to move to the outside. I think he stopped because Plimble looked like he was coming across. Gunnar be able to force something down into turn 1. Looks to me like Plimble's got the battery, in all fairness, to be able to defend it. Actually, Watson is making a move on Gunnar. So Gunnar, in his attempts to try and get back past Plimble, ran out of battery, and that allowed Watson, it opened the door for Watson down into turn 1, and you don't have to ask that man twice. So through goes Watson up to P4, and remember, he started on the hards, so Watson in a very nice place at the moment. Doing the longer stint first. It is a risky strategy in Japan. Gotta be honest, it's you know, Japan is not shy when it comes to a safety car. So a poorly timed safety car could really hurt Watson, so he definitely won't be wanting that. Oh my word! Where's that Ferrari coming back in, Robin? What happened? And he's picked up... I don't know who he's picked up. Is it Gregory? Well, Gregory's night doesn't get any better, does it? Goodness me. Minding his own business, and Ferrari just came escapading across the grass and straight into the side of him. No idea what happened for Robin. It's such a strange moment as Ozers makes his way past Vazzi and back up to P16. I don't think I've ever seen that before, you know, as I think Boss's round. That's out of the two right-handers. That awkward traction zone. I do honestly suggest using none ERS through there. It's a pain on traction. There's several corners around here which are really difficult traction corners or exits. Watson, by the way, is up to P3. He's gone and past Plimble. So Watson starting on those hards. He's off to a really good start in this race. Now the top two have pulled a gap. So Brian leading by nearly 3 seconds over Admiral. But Admiral in turn has over a 2-second lead to third place. It is looking a little bit like that, Carsey, I can't lie. And like, look, it's not commentator's curse, alright. It's the fact that people can't drive. That's the right. Well, Plimble is just dropped out of the 1 second. Plimble's early pace in this race was exceptional, but it just looks like it's dropping off a little bit, and he just maybe gone too hard on the tyres early in the race. Quite hard to do on this game to do that, but it's the only thing I can think of. Oh, Gunnar wanted to launch that. He really wanted to launch that, but thought better of it in the end. I think sensible. It seems to be a recurring thing for Gunnar here as Gregory makes his way to the pits, forced onto a 2-stop because of disconnect. But every time Gunnar seems to attack someone, the door closes or he runs out of space or runs out of time on the straight, and all of a sudden he becomes immediately under attack by the car behind. In this case, that's Ryanair. He was also closely followed by Rich at the moment, who's doing very nicely. It's not an excuse, it's the truth. Right, here we go again. Watson, by the way, is closing that gap on Admiral. It's down to 1.3, 1.2. But here comes Gunnar, and this time he is passed into the chicane. But, oh, I tell you what, if Plimble didn't have that little moment there on the exit, hairy little moment, I think he might have been able to attack Gunnar back. But as it is, he's coming under attack himself from Ryan. What Ryan doesn't know is that Plimble had a massive amount of energy going onto the pit straight, and that is why he's managed to hold Ryan off. Well done, lads. Good racing. Meanwhile, Rich will be watching all of this behind, wondering, almost hoping, he won't want anybody to take anyone out, but he wouldn't mind a little moment between the two just to allow him to just nip past, and side by side almost into the two right-handers. That can go wrong. I never fancy trying to go side by side with someone through there. Just don't trust anyone well enough to, to not hit me. But in battling, Plimble and Ryan, in battling, they've allowed Gunnar to get away, although Plimble using his battery to force his way back onto Gunnar. Got a little more to do, but he does still have a big battery advantage going onto the straight, so he should be able to close this down. Should be back in within the 1 second by the time we reach the... No, he stopped boosting. I'm surprised at that, because he's going to lose overtake for the next lap. He's heading to the pits. Okay, So it definitely seemed though that Plimbull really hurt. It really seemed like he'd hurt his tyres. Yeah, absolutely, Josh. They're used to me giving them abuse. It's fine. While we were watching that battle, Watson has caught Admiral. Really goes to show, doesn't it? The mediums must be hurting. Watson's clearly got some very good race pace underneath him here, but for him to catch Admiral as easy as he has, as quickly as he has, and Admiral going wide like that into the hairpin will help. I actually don't think Admiral should bother battling this. I don't see much point. As it stands at the moment, Watson is going to get past him. These hards seem to be working exceptionally well. And yeah, look, Admiral not really choosing to fight it. A little bit maybe. Not literally just giving up, but I think that's sensible from Admiral. He'll now get the overtake mode for the next lap. And he could actually use Watson's pace maybe to pull him along. As Rich. Oh, Rich speeds into the pits and picks up 10 seconds. Oh, unlucky Rich. He's having a good race. These three get very, very tight. Well, leading this little group. Which, by the way, that car behind is Karma Reduced, who started last. What a race Karma's having. He's up 12 places. It's just oh, right, okay. He's still having a great race. He's still up 12 places. that is not right. It is a commentary. I suppose that is a commentator's curse. Although he must have got 2 warnings before that, so I don't think that really counts. Good view from Falcao's car of Yestin's attack on Whale. Again, well, just able to hold him off. Yestin, without doubt, has the monopoly on the battery, and I don't think there's going to be an awful lot that Well can do here. He's not picking up the toe. Okay, they're side by side. Yestin makes sure to leave plenty of room whilst Well still managed to drive out off the track a little bit, but through goes Yestin then and takes P7. I said again, these mediums really look like they're hurting to me. And I think you can see that by the fact that Falcao and Josh are into the pits. It's a little, well, end of lap 10, it's not massively early, but it is a little bit early. Ideally wanting to be doing 12 laps really on the mediums. Well, Josh, I mean, that was a clear one. I can't lie, that was a clear. But in my defence, as I say, he must have got 2 warnings before that one. So, you know, we got a yellow flag. We see anything? It was Vati. Was it Vati? I might be doing Vati an injustice there. I'm not actually sure I've got that right, but he's going to be under a lot of pressure because he's got a very fast Plimbull behind him, and that looks to me like Boss's round on the final corner on the chicane. Clearly, as you can see, looking at those tyres, he's had a trip across the gravel as well. Wants to carry on though. Putting it into the pits. Where were we? We were with Plimbull and Vati, weren't we? Plimbull needs past. Vati fully within his rights to battle this, because Plimbull, you would assume, I mean, we don't know. If you're Vati right now, if he's pit that early, there's every chance that Plimbull's on a 2-stop. So Vati absolutely within his rights, because they could. You'd expect Plimbull to probably be down the road a little bit, but there is the potential they could end up battling later in the race if he was two stopping. So, succession of pit stops. Ryan, Gunnar, Whale and Vati into the pits then. So, Watson's pace on those hards has gotten past Admiral, but Ryan is absolutely holding the lead. He's holding the gap to Watson. Now, they are teammates, mind, so Watson may not be looking to push too hard, as yellow flagging set to 1 is Chris, but he's clearly already recovered that and is back on his way quite happily. Ozers is called up to the back of Kev then. So Kev's just out of overtake range of Karma at the moment. Can do smooth as the Red Bull sound in this game in comparison. Well, Kev's in, as are Admiral and James, by the way. So that releases Karma, who's now up to P4. Okay, still the pit, but he's doing a good stint on these mediums. Now the gap is starting to drop. Now Watson is catching Brian. I think Brian would ideally like to keep his mediums going as long as he can. I don't. He's not in any immediate risk of any sort of undercut. So as long as they're not about to explode at any point, you'd think he'd. You know, if they're getting into danger territory, then absolutely just get yourself into the pits. But don't risk it. It's not worth risking it. But what position the Audis are in. Split the strategy, 1 on mediums, 1 on hards. They currently are 1-2. And yes, okay, Watson, when he does eventually pit, will lose a few places and he's going to battle his way back through, but doesn't have the tyres to do it. By the way, come out in P6. Brian does pit, so Brian in. As I said, I think he'd have liked to have gone further if he could, but as I say, if the tyres were getting into any sort of danger territory, it's just not worth any risk. So Yestin does stay out another lap, so he's going to take P2 at least for now. Just looking at Brian on the left there, this could be pretty close with Karma down into turn 1. No, Brian just about does manage to get out ahead of Karma, so it couldn't be at this moment in time. And I'm gonna, before I say this time, I'm gonna touch wood as I say this, but this could not be any more perfect for Audi right now. What a race it's turning out to be for them. So, can I find any close ones at the moment? Well, Blimble got a little row of cars here, right up against each other, but close enough. Ryan looks like he's sort of ducking in and out of overtake range of Rich at the moment. He's just outside it at the moment, but I've got a feeling that will keep changing. You can see Rich clearly burning some battery. Ryan actually didn't have overtake for this lap, so he could potentially become very vulnerable to Gunnar. So let's watch this. So it's Rich against Plimble up to the chicane, and in the rear there you've got Gunnar and Ryan. So Rich not getting an opportunity. Well, neither of them actually get an opportunity up to the chicane. We probably see something there. And now those guys who hadn't pitted yet are in. Watson, Yestin and Karma all in. Just looking. Watson's come out in P2. Watson, what a hard stint he's done. He's come out in P2. Audi, after the pit stops, are first and second in this race. So Watson, you'd have thought that Admiral might have got back in through an undercut, but whether he's been held up in traffic or whether Watson's pace was just that good, it's just the latter of the two. As Admiral picks up a penalty, Posers will be loving running in P4. I have to say, there's a clear, huge improvement from Moses tonight. So I hope he listens to it, and I hope he does hear me say that, because that is clearly noted. Okay, I know he's got a pit and he's going to drop down the order, but it's clearly a massive, massive improvement tonight. So when Moses does pit, we'll see Plimbull up to P4. At the moment, Plimbull's just over 2 seconds behind Admiral. He did pit earlier, so Admiral has a tyre advantage, so he'll be feeling like he's got every chance. Okay, he's pits up 3 seconds, but he'd be feeling like he's got every chance to pull that away a bit. So, Plimbull on Ozers. Plimbull's going to attack this with his fresh tyres. He was always going to attack that. Yeah, Josh, you're probably right. But bear in mind, they should wear a bit better in the second stint with less fuel. And is that... That was Rich getting past Ozers, and that was Ryan getting past Ozers, and that was Gunnar getting past Ozers. Anybody else want to pass Ozers? It's a bit of a free-for-all at the moment. I think it might be time to pit Ozers. I think he will be all right, Josh. In all fairness, you're right. He will struggle towards the end, but I don't think he's going to struggle in the sense of losing that much time to the cars behind. And you'd also expect him to maybe extend the lead a little bit more, and maybe even close the gap down to Brian a little bit. I will say, by the way, Watson is actually his biggest strength, I think. Not just he's clearly very fast, you can see that, but I do think his biggest strength since he's been in WAOF1, which is quite a few seasons now, as he sets fastest lap, is his ability to look after his tyres. The most crazy stints I've ever seen on the F1 games. Was it Monza, I think? So many laps on the medium tyres. Everybody thought he was going to pit. Everybody thought he has to pit. There's no way he can get to the end, and he absolutely did. And then when he went into the chat, he said they're only just over 50% or something. It was like, what? So, while I was nattering on there, we saw Rich get past Plimbull. Oh, Plimbull goes deep, and that's left the door open a little bit ajar, shall we say, for Ryan. Both have overtake mode. Ryan does have a bit of a battery advantage. About 40% advantage, actually, so it's pretty significant. So he may choose to, well, obviously, well, actually, if anybody does know that, Ryan's probably the only one on track that might know that he's got an advantage because of the telemetry data app that he has. And if Plimbull listened, we did tell everybody to turn it off, and Plimbull's in, so he is on the 2-stop. Wasn't 100% sure whether he was or not. Don't worry about that delay. It's not actually delayed. That's the 117th glitch in the game, I believe, is the when you're spectating and it looks like the car's just sat there and it's actually not. They've already gone. Glitch number 117. car looks to remain stationary when they've actually left the pits. Yeah, absolutely, Carsey. And it looks like he's going to, in my opinion. I don't see any real threat from behind at the moment. Things can change. It is Japan. We all know that Japan loves the safety car. So, things can change. Do you know, Carsey, I've just realised that that could be one hell of a choice for me, because without doubt, Watson really is going to be the man who deserves driver of the day, but at the same time I believe Brian will be, if it all stays as it is, he'll be winning his first race in WAOF1. I always like to think that I give driver of the day to people on their first race win, but when there's been a performance, I'm not sure Brian would worry too much. He'd like the championship point for the drivers, but with it going to his teammate, we're 9 laps away from making that decision yet, so Chris then, Robin peels into the pits, so that releases Chris into P17. Let's go back. This is definitely the battle which is keeping us going at the moment. Actually, let's go and see if we can spot an Ozer's overtake. Out on fresh mediums against 8-lap old hards of Josh. We expect Ozer's to have the opportunity. Ideally, Ozer's needs to get this done for his race. He needs to take advantage of these mediums while they're fresh. And here he goes to the outside for Spoon. Actually opts not to stay side by side. He's going to have another run up to the chicane, and he's going to get him quite easily, I believe. There's the drop in speed from Josh as he hits 0 battery. Is that going to allow Gaza past as well? Gaza's having a look. Look how much battery Josh gets back up the hill and into the chicane. And that's probably going to be enough for him to hold Gaza off. Gaza wouldn't have known, of course, but when he watches this back, he'll realise he missed the opportunity. In all fairness, it was all getting a bit tight, wasn't it? So maybe he just felt better of it. Obviously, Gaza trying to recover from the incident earlier on with James. It's I don't know actually what happened when I got to them. They were just both rounding in the wall. So, and that's a nice move in a double right-hander. You don't see many of them. Up the inside. Gaza wanted to get that done because he doesn't want Ozers to disappear. He wants to get after Ozers because he knows that Ozers' tyres will eventually start to hurt more than his hards will. That was Plimble getting past Kev on this 2-stop strategy, of course. Right, just moving back up the order, and it's all aboard the Rich train at the moment. As Rich remains ahead of Ryan. He's got Gunnar on the back of him. I say a train, it's a very small train, it's only the 3 cars. For some reason I actually thought James and Well were on the back of this. But Well's got his own little train going on. Yeah, it was brilliant, Kirsty, wasn't it? Beautiful move, and plenty of room left from Josh as well. Massive lock-up from Rich on the front left. That's left the door open and gives Ryan a little incentive. And he's going to boost past this time. He's got overtake mode. I think Rich has decided there, do you know what, I don't want to burn all my battery in defending. So I think Rich is going to... He might have a look back up the hill. He's definitely got the battery to have a go, but he may also opt just to keep the battery and take the overtake mode for the next lap. How much battery they get through super clipping. Up the hill. Massive amounts. It's 100% battery, and now he has overtake mode as well. So I don't think that battle's finished yet. I don't think that's it. I think Rich will be looking to come back. Snipping to well here. He's got a bit of pressure from Falcao. There's been quite a lot of pressure, really. I'm just going to have a little look at the position changes here. Watson, as you can see, up 8 places, started P10 and on the hard tyres, and is up 8 places, an absolute standout. Karma as well, up 11 places, superb. And of course Ryan up to 3 places. Kev's up 8 places, by the way. What a performance that is from Kev. 21 to 13. So still time left yet. Penalties. Admiral 3 seconds. Rich, of course, I've forgotten that he picked up 10 seconds speeding in the pit lane. Has added a corner cut to that, so he's on 13. Karma on 3. Chris and Robin also on 3. So they're all 3 seconds apart from Rich, who's got the 13. That's tires. There we go. So Falcao's having a go. Just looking at it from Falcao's point of view, back to this because he's getting past. Not a lot by the looks of it that well could do there. So Falcao through and up to P8. Could well come back. He's having a look. Which way is he going to go? He moves to the outside. I don't think he's quite going to get alongside. They do, don't they? They are very level on pace. I think we've reached a point, to be fair, where Brian's tyres are probably quite a bit better than Watson's at this stage. I would have thought those hards are faster, so Brian shouldn't be having too much trouble just holding the gap at that sort of level now. You can probably just drive around in a mode where he's saving battery all the time, and then he can just put a quick lap in here and there and use a bit extra battery. But, what a performance from the Audis today. I mean, Brian has been supreme. He's absolutely dominated tonight. He was fastest in Q1, Q2, and of course took pole in Q3. And he's led almost every lap of the race. So it's not quite a Grand Slam. He's led almost every lap of the race. But he did lose out to James at one point early on. I think it was lap 2. So that Plimble gets past Karma. I didn't realise Karma had gone to the softs. They might actually struggle to get to the end, in all fairness. He's just completed lap 9 on those softs. And he's still got 24, 25, 26 and 27 to go. 4 more laps on softs. 13 laps on softs at Japan. My goodness me. That seems a stretch. So Karma having an absolutely brilliant race, but can he get to the end? Big question mark. And yeah, that gap between Brian and Watson is just beginning to increase now. It's increased about half a second over the last lap and a half. Well, as much as I'm sure Rich would like at some point to get back past these two, I think with that 13-second penalty. There's not really much point in him battling them. He may as well just let them battle for that P4 spot. Gunnar could. I think Gunnar would be reasonably happy with P5 in all honesty, but if he could get past Ryan for P4, I think he'd see this as a really good result for him on a track where he happily admits that it's not a strong track for him. Well, picking up the 3 seconds, which ends that battle really with Falcao. Unfortunately for him, if I look behind, that's Yestin. It's not a track, Japan, where you see that many penalties. And to be fair, it's only the 6 drivers tonight out of the 22 that have picked up penalties, or 21 because we lost Godzilla just a few laps in. Well, actually just set its fastest first sector of the race, interestingly. Quite interestingly. Not that interesting really, but quite interestingly. I think Yestin might fancy getting past well here on track, and maybe if he can get past well, he could have a little look at his teammate for P8, but he does have the tyre advantage, but laps of course are running out. So we come, these guys will be coming on to lap 26. Leader of course already on 26, so yeah, good for Brian. No need to push at this stage now, just cruise. I'm just going to put myself back into Xbox party because at some point I've dropped out. It's obviously because we had the restarts. We Ozers into the pits. Had a gap, I think. But he had a gap. He was ahead of Vati. I don't know why he's pitting. No point for fastest lap anymore, so that seems like the most pointless pit stop of all time. Oh! That's what fresh mediums do for you if you're Ozers. Oh, goodness me. Is Josh going to get told to give that back? There were yellow flags out. About to find out. Well, I'm sure if he was told to give it back, he'd have done it just there, so I think he's okay. I wasn't sure. There seems to be yellow flags out on my screen, but his could have been different. So... no, he is giving it... well, he's either giving it... oh, what was that? Seemed very strange from Ozers. But, I don't know if Josh gave that back or whether he's just run out of battery and Ozers got past, so I've absolutely no idea. He only had to give it back if the game told him to. So Brian, we are going to switch to Brian then, who's coming up the hill to the chicane for the final time in Japan, and Brian looking at taking his first league race win in WAOF1, and he is going to be over the moon. Oh, I thought he was having a little moment. Oh my goodness, he's fooled me. He's absolutely done me. Brian takes victory in Japan, and it's an Audi 1-2. Watson with an absolutely incredible drive from P10 on the grid. Takes my driver of the day as well. Admiral fills the podium. Brian will come across for P4. Gunnar boosts to P5 because of Rich's penalty. I think James will go up one as well to 6. But I think that's it. I think Rich will hold on to 7. So he's still done very... Nope, he won't. I apologise. I've got that wrong. Falcao goes up to P7. Yestin to P8. So 7 and 8 for the Mercs. Rich does hold on to P9. Whale P10. If he didn't pick up that 3 seconds, he would have got an extra place. Plimble in P11. Gaza recovered to 12 in the end. Karma does manage to make those softs last. 13 laps on soft tyres. That's some stint around Japan. Kev, brilliant race from him, up 7 places from where he started, finishes P14. Chris takes P15. Vati on his return to WAOF1 takes P16. Lovely to see you back, Vati. Gregory P17. Josh up to 18. Robin takes P19. Ozers after the, as I said, as he spins again, the most ridiculous pit stop I've ever seen in my life, takes P20. And Boss Membrane will take P21. So, yes, Brian, this one feels the best. Awesome. I won't say the first word, but awesome. Absolutely superb, mate. Absolutely superb. I think if it wasn't for your teammate coming P2 from 10th on the grid, what a night for Aldi. What a night for Aldi. If it wasn't for your teammate coming up from 10th to second on the to finishing second with the hard medium strategy, then I think you'd have probably got driver of the day as well. But I can't ignore the 10th to second from Watson. What an absolutely superb drive. What an absolutely superb drive. So there's your little things that says. Boss Membrane actually took the fastest lap in the end, so finished last, but he got the fastest lap. Let me just scroll through everything, guys, and make sure I've got the penalties on screen and all that sort of thing. So we've got all the penalties there. There's all the gaps, just to make sure. It's important for us to do on stream because, as I've noticed recently, if the streamer doesn't get it, sometimes we don't have it, and it can be a bit awkward if penalties are handed out. So there's the incidents, just in case any of the drivers need them. I can scroll through the pit stops in case, I don't know if Ryan and Admiral like to have that sort of information. But there we go, a dominant win from Brian indeed, Josh. Really good race. I quite enjoyed it. It was not so many ridiculous, well, not many. I don't think I actually saw any silly dives. That's not to say they didn't happen. I didn't see any. I thought it was all very well behaved and a very well driven race from everyone, to be honest with you. So yeah, I might start giving out a new award. We got driver of the day. I might start giving out dunce of the day or something like that, which unsurprisingly, after my surprise at the end there, it's going to Ozers for, as I say, just the most ridiculous pit stop I've ever seen. Absolutely no idea what he was doing. Yeah, although Robin does come in close second for that little cross-country moment across the grass at the hairpin. That was funny from our point of view, although I don't think the driver which he hit, which I think was Gregory, would have been feeling the same. But yeah, there we go. Right, guys, that is Tuesday night's round 2 of the season. I hope you enjoyed it. Those of you in the chat that stuck with me, Carsey, Josh, Brian, when you're not racing, obviously, you've been in the chat as well. Rich has had a lot of input in the chat, so you guys, thank you ever so much. I love the messages coming up, so thank you very much. Yeah, we saw Rich. It was a bit of well, yeah, that hurt obviously a lot, but you still had a very good race though, and really good battles throughout as well. So that was that's, I think you've got plenty of positives to take. Obviously, the speeding in the pits was a downside to it, but you've got loads and loads of positives to take from the race as well. So well done. As I say, I think I'm going to call that a night, guys, because it's gone on late, obviously, because the multiple restarts. So, thank you ever so much to all of you that watched along with me. Thanks to everyone who watched the stream back. I really appreciate it. I want to reiterate again, I've got a few things in the pipeline to help improve the stream a little bit going forward. I don't know what round of the season I'm actually going to get them going, but I hope you enjoy what I do in a way, and well done as well if you won the on the prediction. Yeah, hopefully see you Thursday. Enjoy the rest of your holiday, Josh, and you, Carsey. Enjoy your holiday, man, and I'll see you guys soon. Good night. God bless. See you soon.